let's talk about let's talk about sex, baby. Um,
Baby.
so let's. How important would you say quality of sex is to a relationship?
Quality of sex.
Oh, like actual the physical act.
Yes. Like, so let's say, not necessarily like, okay, sure, if you want to tie frequency in there too, but it's like, is good or bad sex kind of like a like a deal or game breaker if it's like
I'd say so.
this is the person you want to be
Oh, so
for with the rest of
you
your
mean
life,
us specifically?
or sure,
I
specifically, but in
imagine it would
general,
change.
because
Okay.
yeah, like so, yeah, like for me, like I would say I think it's pretty important because it's like if I'm with this person for the rest of my life, like I don't like if it's something I'm gonna have to do pretty frequently, like I want it to be enjoyable. Like I wouldn't want it to be
Yeah.
like oh man, like
Gotta
do we
get through
have to
this one.
tonight? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say it's very important. I would say it's also mentally stimulating. Like sex,
with the right
also good
person, I
sex
agree.
increases your confidence as a
Mhm.
person, which increases, like just good, like it's good emotion. Like I hate to
Yeah.
say it because I don't want to sound shallow, but I think having a good physical, emotional, and um, you know, like mix is
That's a shallow.
very
I
important
think
to a
that's the
relationship.
opposite. That's the opposite. I think
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. Shallow.
that's good. Because I think
Uh.
too, if it's like, let me say it this way: if you have really good emotional connections with someone, that I think it's by default gonna increase right out of the gate the quality
Yes.
of
Yes.
the sex involved. But that I don't. There is still, I think, no, sorry, there is definitely bad, like just bad sex.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
There is.
yeah, of course.
I think I might. I mean, I don't disagree with you guys. I think the quality of sex is important because, yeah, if it's something you're gonna be doing, you don't want to have a shitty time. But I don't know that just sex, period. To me personally, I don't know if I rank it super high in a relationship.
Okay, so so let's say, because I get what you're saying, and that's what I like. I don't think if you're, I think it's a problem if the relationship you have is based around the quality of the sex.
Right.
Yes.
If
Yes.
everything else is healthy, but let's say the sex is like mediocre or kind of sucks, like does that change your outlook on the relationship? Do you
Depends.
think?
I guess it depends the outcome of your sex. Like, let's say if you're having sex and you're not finishing ever, that would take a toll on you. You'd be sexually frustrated. And I think
Mm,
that eventually would
Mm.
take a toll emotionally and thing because even if you opened up and said, "Hey, I'm emotionally like sorry, I'm sexually frustrated. Like
mm,
I'm not finishing, or she's not, or vice versa, right? Anyone's not finishing that relationship ever." Then you talk about it and nothing gets solved. I think it takes a toll. I think that takes a huge toll because if you're not sexually satisfied, that leads to other shit in the relationship, more problems.
That's an interesting take.
I think you need a good mix of that because if you are emotionally satisfied, I think that's the most important.
yeah.
Communication, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. Once that is set, the next boundary should be, in my opinion, is that you're physically satisfied, that you're comfortable with this person's body, they're comfortable with yours. It shows vulnerability because if you can present yourself fully naked, fully vulnerable to someone, and you're comfortable with that, that's super important. If you're someone who has sex with your strong all the time because you're not comfortable with yourself and they never encourage you to be that, it's another part where it's like, well,
Yeah,
that makes you have
Mm,
a wall up at all times because you're never comfortable with your body because it's a physical thing. And then if you're also on top of that not ever finishing as a guy or a girl, and you feel like your partner doesn't really put an effort to show that reciprocation of, like you go down on me, I go down on you. DJ Khaled, shout out to you, bro, because you're a piece of shit. Then it's like that's super. I think that's really bad. Like I think you need both, and in the longevity of a relationship, again, emotional will always outweigh all the other aspects because there's communication in that, whatever
yep.
have you.
Yep.
Verbal, I put with emotional, by the way. Um,
Sure.
but I think physical is also super important.
so what if this person was perfect for you in every other aspect, but the sex was like worse than like a blow up doll?
Then they're
Like,
not
do
perfect
you
for you.
think that's a no? But say everything else is great, or I would even say like perfect, where it's like you know, think of every aspect of what makes a good partner, you know, but then just think that the only thing is that yeah, the sex is absolutely brutal. Like
So let me turn it around then. If you have, would you prefer to have average of everything or perfect of 2 out of 3? I would say average of everything. We hit the spot on everything. It's not amazing in everything, but you're hitting on all 3 notes.
No, but
I
if you
would-
say average, if it's average,
sorry,
then-
okay, it's good. It's good, like slightly above average rather than perfect on 2 out of 3. I'd prefer slightly above
I
average
don't
on
know.
3.
I don't know. See,
That's
because
tough, eh?
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Out of the two of us, being my future wife and myself, I 100% have the lower sex drive of the two of us.
I think I do too. I'm the same way.
Right? Like me,
I've
I would-
always been like that. I've never been
Yeah,
like
same
a,
here. Same
like
here.
a, we need to have sex all the time type thing.
Yeah, like let's go. Like
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
I'm
if you
like
want,
that with
sure,
you
let's do
guys,
it.
but not with my girl.
yeah, like like,
No, I'm the
and
same way.
Of course,
I'm the same way.
yeah, and of course I find her extremely attractive. Like she's a
Mhm.
gorgeous woman. Like it's
Mhm.
nothing like that. I don't know if it's maybe it's my living arrangements. It's just because it's we don't get a whole lot of one-on-one time as it is currently. Maybe that'll change when we're actually together and living together and have our own space. Maybe that'll change. But yeah, her she'd jump me whenever she could if she
Yeah.
if that was
And,
available. But me, I'm just like I love our relationship. We're good. It's just it's not the first thing on my mind. It is.
Yeah, and I'm yeah, just because I know they're gonna watch this later. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that that's the way it is. I'm saying that it's like I'm content. I'm like very easy when it comes to that side. Not easy like
Yeah.
like
Slut.
first date. But that's
You're
one of my
a slut.
questions after. But it's more like I'm content with how it is now.
Hmm.
But if you wanted more, like sure. I don't think it would ever be me that's like I need to have more of it because I don't
Yeah.
want it to think that means I don't share the same desire. It's just I think I just value more their presence than actually having
Yeah.
to like act on it type of thing.
I think the only way your hypothetical would really get to me is if, let's say, everything else is perfect and the sex is worse than a blow up doll, but she always wanted it. Like she wanted it like
Oh,
6
yeah.
nights a week. Then I'd be like, no, like I'm sleeping with my pillow 6 times a week. Like, no, thank you. Like that's
What if it was
That's all
bad
right,
and you only did it like twice a week? Like really bad.
like really bad. If it's really bad, then twice a week is too much. Twice a month, once every bi-weekly with it being really bad, I'm fine. I don't care. I'll be okay.